Hi guys, Lynette here, aka London Makeup Artistry, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. If you like makeup tutorials, hauls, swatches, and reviews of makeup products, then consider subscribing because I do all of that here on my channel, and I bring you a new video every week. So today I wanted to show you a couple of things I purchased over the last few days. Some items were from the mail, and then some of the items were from my local drugstore. So first, my mail items. Juvias Place was featured on Hot Look not too long ago, and they've been on there a few times now, and surprisingly they're on there after they put out new releases, which is pretty cool. So keep an look out on Hot Look for Juvias Place if you're interested in any of those products, because they're on there pretty frequently and you can get them at a really great discount, which is what I did. They had the eyeshadow palettes on there. I think they had them all. The Nubian 2, the Masquerade, and the Saharan. I know now they have 2 more eyeshadow palettes that were just released, but they had the rest, the older palettes on there. And so I passed up the opportunity. I have 2 of the Juvias Place palettes. I have the Nubian palette and I have the Masquerade palette. And I passed up the opportunity to get the other 2, the Nubian 2 and the Saharan palette, when I went to IMATS. I don't know why. They were there. They had the palettes at a fantastic discount. I think they're normally like $25 to $28 or $35, depending on which palette it is. And they had them all, I think, for like 19 bucks. And for some reason, I didn't buy it then. And that has haunted me every single day. And I am not exaggerating. I've been haunted by that because I'm like, why didn't I like the palettes that I have? And the price was great. So when I saw them again on Hot Look at the same pricing, I jumped at it. This time I wasn't stupid. I jumped. So I think both of these palettes were $19. So I got the Nubian 2 and I got the Saharan. So I left the I've used both of the palettes, okay? You'll see that when I open it. But I put the Nubian 2 stuff back because I wanted you to see how I received it. I know in the beginning when Juvia's first launched, they had issues with people getting broken eyeshadows and them not like replacing them. And so I think they've gotten better since then. I think they've improved. I've never had, knock on wood, I haven't yet had any issues with getting any broken shadows and palettes. I've never had to contact customer service. Recently, when they debuted their newest palette, the Magic, well, that's not the newest now, the Zulu's the newest, but the Magic palette, I saw that people on Instagram were talking about they didn't get their shipping and stuff was canceled and blah, blah, blah. And people from Juvia's Place were actually responding to the customers on Instagram. So I think they've learn from their mistakes, it seems. So if you've been shy about ordering any of their products because of that issue, you know, maybe you want to rethink it and try them one time, because so far I haven't had any issues. I hope I didn't just jinx myself. So this is the Nubian 2 palette, and this is the packaging. Very pretty. All of their packaging looks like this, and it came in a box with styrofoam peanuts in it, and then you pull this out, and then the palette came in bubble wrap as an added means of protection, which, you know, is a good idea. So it seems like they want to make sure your palettes and shadows aren't broken when you get them. So, and then this is the palette, and as you will see, I already used it. So very pretty. It's maybe a little more neutral palette. It does have the pops of color, the blues, the greens here, this beautiful shade here, the gold, orange. I feel like in every palette they have an orange color in it and some darker browns. So it allows you to be able to, you know, be able to do a wearable look in many of the palettes. But they have other palettes that have way more colorful shadows in it, but this one is a little more on the neutral side. And I never rushed out to buy it because I have the Nubian palette, which is a neutral palette, and I don't know, I didn't feel like I really needed this. But do I really need any more makeup or any more eyeshadow palettes? So I'm glad I got it to add to my collection. And I don't know if that's posted yet, or if I'll be posting it after this video, but I'm doing a whole series on the Juvias Place palettes that I own, where I'm doing eyeshadow looks with each palette. So look out for that if it's not out yet. Coming to a YouTube channel, whatever. So so this is the Nubian 2 palette, and I will do some swatches for you, just a couple. Here, here, and here. And this is what they look like. The palettes have gotten very popular, and for good reason, because the shadows are beautiful. Bam! Oops! Bam! Look at that. Look at that. Hello? Hello. Okay, so I know those were some janky swatches, but nice shadows, really nice shadows. And so I finally picked that palette up, and then I also purchased the the Saharan palette. And as you can see, it's a lot smaller than the Nubian 2 palette, but it packs a lot of punch also. And I use this palette already too in my series, and this is the Saharan palette. And I had to get this palette because of the pinks. I don't have too many pinks, especially pink shimmers in my collection, so just the pinks alone made me want to get this palette. And I will do a couple of swatches of this for you. Bam! I've used this palette, I've used this color, and I have to say it is my favorite. The pinks are what drew me in to wanting to purchase this palette, but after using that coral shade, that coral matte shade, that is my favorite. So that's the Nubian 2. Here are the Saharan swatches. Oop, I messed that up. Look at that. But isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous! So that's the Saharan. And I'm so glad to be able to add them to my collection. So welcome to the collection, girls. Welcome to the family. All right, so I got a couple of other eyeshadow palettes. I was feeling a little down one day, feeling a little low, feeling a little blue. And when I'm feeling like that, I like to go to the makeup store or to the drugstore and wander the makeup aisles. Am I the only person that does that? Am I? No? Okay. So that's what happened. I went to my local Walgreens and ended up buying some makeup because they were having some sales, and I had some coupons. I love my coupons. So it wasn't one of these. I'm gonna tell you about this that I also got in another little shopping trip. But I went to the Wet n Wild section. Now, funny thing is, I was watching another YouTuber. I don't remember her name, but she was talking about like the 5 palettes, eyeshadow palettes that you must have in your collection, and she mentioned Wet n Wild. And then I have since seen some other videos similar to that where other ladies have mentioned the Wet n Wild palettes, in particular the Comfort Zone palette. And then in that first video I saw, the young lady talked about the Petal Pusher palette too. She said this was a good palette too. And I don't think I've ever owned a Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette before. I don't think so. And so this Comfort Zone palette, I guess is legendary. It's an iconic palette that everyone says if you use Wet n Wild eyeshadows, this is the palette you have to pick up. So she wasn't even sure if they still sell the palette. So I happened to be in my Walgreens and I went to the Wet n Wild section and they had it. So it's a neutral palette. And I don't know if you've been on my channel before, but if you have, you know that neutral palettes do nothing for me. They don't excite me at all. But I'm going to show you some swatches of this palette. They don't excite me at all, but having heard so much about this particular palette, I said let me at least give it a try. And I was surprised. Like I said, I don't own any Wet n Wild shadows, and so these were very, very pretty. They're all shimmer, unfortunately. No mattes in the palette, but very pretty. They seem to have, from the swatches, they seem to have good pigmentation, and that like blue gray color is very pretty. I have something similar in my collection. I know that I do, but it's still a great color. So I'm glad I got to pick this palette up, and I'm looking forward to playing with it. And then there's the Petal Pusher palette. Oop, the little thingy fell out. That's just gonna get thrown in the garbage. This is the Petal Pusher palette, and this is right up my alley. It's plums and purples and lavender colors, and again it looks like it's an all shimmer palette, although that light lavender color for the eyelid, one of those colors, looks like it's a matte. So this color right here looks like it's a matte shade, but all the others look to be shimmer shades. So I'm looking forward to playing with these palettes. Let me know. I'm thinking about doing a tutorial using one of the palettes and just using the shades in the way that they have them, that they've instructed you to use them, because on each one they have brow bone, eyelid crease, definer. So they're kind of telling you where on your eye you should use these shadows. I'm thinking about doing a tutorial where I use those shadows in the way that Wet n Wild suggests that you use them. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing something like that, and let me know if you want to see any looks using either one of these palettes. Okay, and then last but not least, I think this is finally going to be a short video. I always say I'm doing a short video and I never do, but this might actually be one of them. I got this just a couple of days ago. I've been looking for this. This is the Loreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. It's brand new. This is in the color Black is Black, number 200. It's a brand new in their lineup, and everyone on YouTube is saying how this is a dupe for the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So I'm all about trying to find a less expensive alternative to my high-end expensive ass makeup products. Okay, so I've been looking for this and looking for this, and I just recently found it in my Walgreens. So I picked this up with a quickness. Now the package is open because I used it already. And this is what it looks like. It looks a lot like the Better Than Sex mascara tube, and the wand also looks similar to that wand. I mean, it's big like that wand. And so I used it once already, And I have to say, the formula was dry. I was really surprised at how dry it was. It sort of kind of felt like when you've had your mascara for a few weeks and it's starting to dry out. It's not dry yet, but it's going in that direction. It's moving in that direction. And I was surprised that it was kind of dry. And when I used it, it came out in clumps too. Like I got a couple of clumps on the end. So it did a nice job on my lashes. It made them full. It also lengthened them, which was nice. And it didn't flake on me. And it lasted all day. So I'm going to use it some more, of course, and I'll let you know. I know that some people, I think, have said that it dries up quickly. I think I heard that. And honestly, I could see that happening. I could see that. But I'm going to use it some more. I'm probably going to use it every day, to be honest with you, because my Better Than Sex has long ago dried up. So I'm going to be giving this a run for its money. And if you'd like to know what I think of it after I've tested it out, leave me a comment below and I'll come back with a little short review on it. Okay? All right, so that's it, folks. I think this was truly a short video today. So if you liked what you saw in this video, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see more videos like this and then some, consider subscribing. And thanks for joining me today. I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.